c'est delicious. A real beautiful company. Bad deal. Should have never been thought of. Antifa exists.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And then
they're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and address my progressive audience. They won't come out and address Bree's audience, or Katie's audience, or Justin Jackson, or you.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices.
Not good. Believe me, not good.
Fine, I gotta go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it. I'm the only person who's ever run on 3 platforms that I was told could not possibly win the election, and I never ceased from it. One was...
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Who are you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers. No more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield.
Bottom line, the American dream, the great American dream versus being a socialist hellhole.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water. Help me, I need water. Help. And then they have cans of soup. Soup. So stupid, so stupid. Thank you, thank you.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. So hopefully today will be, or, this episode will be, a little bit more smooth than the previous one today. And I will be shortly, very shortly actually, I will be extraordinarily short. I will be both short and then also tall. I'm going to be short and then also tall. Anyway, let's turn my heater off. Get rid of some background noise. Alright. So yeah, I've got some stuff lined up today. Again, there's been so much information coming about after the attempted destruction of the United States Capitol building, and it's going to take quite a long time to unpack. So, I've got some clips here, some right-wingers trying to damage control, and we'll go from there. Felix Cornelius, no more Jimmy Dore stuffs. Please, it is boring. I have nothing lined up for today's episode. However, I will, if something comes up, I will cover it. And if something does not come up, I will not cover it. The noise of the heater is okay. That's true. It's also, it also costs money, so to leave it on. And so if I'm moderately warm and I can remove some noise and I can add some money to my fucking wallet with the same switch. So, hello Kwai Chan, hello Delling Conley, hello Mike Silver, hello Mr. Mud Joseph of the Mud, hello Shampoo, hello Nicholas Nordland, hello Billiard Dulliard, hello Dev J, hello Baudry Starhopper, and I think that's everyone. Alright, so, again, I've got some stuff here, and so we're gonna go into the stuff, and without further ado, I would like to introduce everyone to a new character in the saga of the United States government. A new character known as Chairman Bernard Sanders. Let's go.
To do. Let me just be very clear. As the incoming chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, I remember what happened in 2010. And that is the Democrats during the 2008-2010 period controlled the White House, they controlled the Senate, controlled the House. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And you remember what happened in 2010? Democrats got wiped out. They had the power, but they did not deliver for the American people. So what we have got to do right now, no ifs, buts, or maybes, is have an aggressive agenda that says we understand that millions of people, including my neighbors right here in Vermont, people are lining up in their cars in order to get emergency food. People can't pay their medical bills. People are going deeper and deeper into debt. People are facing eviction. Millions of people have lost their jobs. We have to act and act now. And the first order of business, by the way, is to pass an emergency COVID-19 bill, which, among many other things, says to working class Americans, we know you're in pain, and we're going to get you a $2,000 check for every working class adult in this country. We are on your side. We are prepared to take on the big money interests who have so much power. We're going to expand healthcare to cover the uninsured. We're going to deal with student debt. We have got to be bold in a way that we have not seen since FDR in the 1930s.
Oh, man. Oh, shit. Fuck me. I'm sorry about that. Not so smooth transition from video to commentary. But yeah, Bernie is right here. And if you want to scroll down, you can see some pure psychopath shit. But Bernie is right here. The Democrats lost over 1,000 seats during Obama's tenure. Why? Because they're garbage. They're ding-dong, dumb bitch motherfuckers. That's why. And Bernard is like, wait a second. I'm going to learn from the mistakes of the party that I caucus with. And I'm going to attempt to the best of my ability to prevent similar things from occurring in the future. And he said that on live television. So, and also I just want to say, him pushing heavily for the 2K now that Democrats have taken the Senate, it's going to be interesting. You want to know why it's going to be interesting? Because Joe Schmo Manchin actually just came out a couple hours ago saying there is no way in hell that he's going to go for a 2K stimulus. Now, theoretically, all you need is to dump him and get like Mitt Romney on board or whatever, Josh Hawley, right? Like he was so in favor to that, right? So theoretically, you don't need Joe Manchin. But at the same time, fuck Joe Manchin. And I'm very interested to see how Democrats deal with having power. They are going to have the House, Senate, and the presidency. Now, again, very slim margins, but they are going to have the House, Senate, and the presidency for the first time in a long time. And that gives us a lot more power, us being the left, communists, anarchists, anyone in this space. That gives us a lot more power because now Republicans are not going to be dominating the news cycles. That's the big difference. They're just not going to be. Mitch McConnell blocking legislation isn't going to be front page on the newspaper every single day. And that's going to change the Overton window. That's going to change the conversation. And I'm here for it. So sign me up. Op Ustion, $20 super chat from Moshmaster. Op Ustion, can the military or the V.A. downgrade a discharge status after a soldier is discharged? I don't want my tax dollars to pay for Ashley Babbitt's funeral after I'm so sorry. This is my first time smoking today. I waited until the show to hit it up, and it's hitting me a little hard. That's a good question. I don't know. But I would sign a petition about that. And if you can send me any resources or like maybe a petition or a story on that, I will cover it on my show and make a segment about it, because that's actually a really, really interesting point. Multi-millionaire Joe Manchin and his EpiPen daughter. I don't know that much about Joe Manchin, but hopefully Paula Jean goes in there again. She lost 2 runs in a row, but hey, she's got like, what, 2 more years before Joe Manchin goes again? Or what, 4 more years, actually. Isn't Joe Manchin going to be in 24? So let's hope Paula Jean gets in there and fucks him up, because that would be pretty cool. Cyber is going to be a star player in the works. I mean, we'll see. Like, we'll see, right? Like, I don't know. I've been doing pretty well lately. So, and also, again, thank you for the $20, Smoshmaster. I appreciate you. So again, thank you for tuning in to today's show, part 2, the second show of the day. So again, I might be doing a couple of these, like, double dips. I don't know if I'm going to make an actual schedule change. So again, don't anticipate it being every single day, and don't anticipate it being at 2:40 p.m. every single day, right? So, the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. slot that's concrete. That's not moving. That's definitely not moving. But again, there's just so much news right now, and I don't want to have it slip through the moment. And I don't want it to be lost, because a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about is going to be very important. And right now we are the reason why this section of time is so important is because we are setting the framework right now for how the next 2 or 4 years go. We are going to set the framework, the conversation. We cannot let this Capitol terror attack turn into like a moment where Trump's administration tries to resign and whitewash themselves. We cannot let that happen. We have to hold these people accountable. If not in the justice system or, in impeaching them or whatever. If not doing that, then we have to make sure that we do it on the battlefield of ideas in the social marketplace. So, just throwing that out there. They are not. The military does not pay for funerals. Really? They don't pay for funerals? I just expected that they did. What the fuck? Only will provide a color guard if the family requests. Also, being on 14 years, she is not going to be buried in military graveyard. Awesome. That's good. 14 years for the dumb bitch who died? Mike Silver. The one that you seem to have an infatuation with? Jesus. Will Trump pardon himself? I'm going to get into that either today. If not today, then tomorrow. So I'm going to get into that. Don't worry. But Jesus, right? This whole situation is just... there's just so much happening right now. And it's certainly something interesting. Damn! I am like really high right now. So please, bear with me. So I thought this was really funny. So this is This was yesterday, but it's still really funny. So Donald Trump, his schedule yesterday was very interesting. So we have Sarah Cook say, update, President Trump is no longer planning to go to Camp David for the, for the weekend as originally planned. I'm so sorry. The White House is declining to comment on the reason for the change in schedule. His public schedule for tomorrow, and that would be today, I believe. I think this is today, but President Trump will work from early in the morning until late in the evening. He will make many calls and have many meetings. I'm sorry.
So stupid. So stupid. Thank you.
I just thought that was really funny. I'll let it speak for itself. President Trump will work from early in the morning until late in the evening. He will make many calls and have many meetings. The calls, they will be tremendous. They will be big, beautiful calls. We're going to have big, beautiful conference calls. It's going to be amazing.
Did you use the word smart?
Oh my God. Everything about this. I can't let that little tidbit will not and shall not be lost in the wind. You know, again. These motherfuckers, man. These motherfuckers. They're serious too. That's the thing, is these motherfuckers are serious. Alright, so we got some more dumb. I've been starting my videos with calling people, like the clips and the segments, I've been starting them with calling people dumb motherfuckers. But I really shouldn't do that because that makes it, that disables monetization. Because there's like a little thing where if you swear in the first 30 seconds, then you lose the monetization. But like, I also love starting a video with, so we got some dumb motherfuckers, right? That's like a perfect start to the video. But like, is it really worth it to lose the ad money from the video to just call them dumb motherfuckers in the first 30 seconds? Like, I can maybe filibuster and then call them dumb motherfuckers at second 33, right? Like, so I'm not sure, but either way, we got some dumb motherfuckers here, and this is this morning, the morning of January 8th, and this is what Fox and Friends has to say about the Capitol and the 25th Amendment and all that kind of stuff.
You know, there are 75 million people that voted for President Trump, and they're scared. They're worried about what the future of this country looks like. Many of them...
They're confused.
They are. They're confused. They're heartbroken that their candidate didn't win, and they don't want to be forgotten. And Tucker Carlson really hit home with this last night. Listen. You know, there are seven...
All right, so I do have... no, I don't. I do have Tucker Carlson somewhere. And I'm going to get to that actually next. But, so this is the thing. This is the cope that they're doing here. This is what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to say that first of all, they're defending the Capitol terror attack. Let's be honest. Let's be very, very, very explicit here. Fox News, a major cable news outlet, is endorsing and defending a terroristic attack on the United States. Not just the United States, but the capital of the United States. The capital of the United States underwent a terrorist attack, and Fox News is defending them. So let that be abundantly clear. Let's underscore that, okay? So with that in mind, they're trying to start the cope. They're just confused. Oh, they're lost. They don't know what to do. What? Wait, first of all, why don't you tell them what to do? Like, you're Fox, right? Like, you have some sort of, like, you have a platform. You can just say, it'll be okay. You can tell them what to do, but they're not, right? That's the thing, is they're just kind of enabling their emotions. They're kind of letting people go, like, they're sitting on the wife beater going, like, yeah, I'm just confused, yeah. And then, like, you know, even Fox don't know what to do. I'm just so confused, right? Like, that's what they're doing. They're enabling and endorsing and defending, carrying water and running damage control for the largest attack on our government, on the institutions of our government, that there has probably ever been in this country in the last, I don't know. Again, the Capitol hasn't been breached since the War of 1812. Like, it's been 200 fucking years since the Capitol has been breached, right? So, like, this is like, and then also, again, Donald Trump firing the head of cybersecurity, and whoopsie daisy, everything's hacked all of a sudden. We still haven't really figured out the depths of the destruction of that. And even if they do figure out how bad that is, they're certainly not going to tell us, right? So it's like, we have no idea how weak the government actually is right now. Like, you're telling me I knew ahead of time that I should stream all day on January 6th because something epic might happen. I knew, but somehow the National Guard didn't know. Somehow the Defense Department didn't know. Somehow the Capitol Police didn't know. Like, you're telling me somehow all of these law enforcement agencies just didn't know that these Trumpers were going to go try to assault the Capitol? And some dumb podcaster did? Are you kidding me? So is Fox going to go on their show and talk about how the cops let them into the Capitol? Is Fox going to go on their show and talk about how cops were taking selfies? I don't know. And if they do, someone send me the link. But it certainly seems like they're carrying water and running damage control for one of the largest terrorist attacks against our government in this country's history. It's unbelievable. It's shameful, and all of these people, in my opinion, should be sent to jail. If you are defending terrorist attacks, you should, like on cable news, right, being like very directly related to the controlling party that enabled this and directed this terror attack, I think you should be held accountable, personally. Like, remember when all these people freaked out when Ilhan Omar said, oh, some people did something about 9/11? Do you remember that? Ilhan Omar famously, or infamously in these people's minds, said, some people did something on 9/11 as a way to say, yeah, you shouldn't hate Muslims 20 years later because a Muslim did something poorly, right? All of a sudden, right, that was the worst thing in the world. Do you remember that? They were running back to back, day on day after day after day coverage about it. Now, all of a sudden, the Republican Party directs and incites a terror attack on the United States Capitol. All of a sudden, it's just some people did something. There's just some people, they were confused, they were lost. They just did some people did something. It's just they did it, and that's, it was mostly peaceful, but some people did. Really makes you think. Those some people, you know what they did? They murdered a police officer. The party of law and order murdered a police officer. That really makes you think, doesn't it? Just pointing it out. My God. But again, these people are fucking dumb as shit. I don't know. They're just like really, really bad. Just like not good at all. Like I really, like I can't even. I don't know. All right. Let me see here. I've got Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's monologue, I think it's in full. It's a 7-minute video that I found on Twitter. This is the evening of January 6th. So I'm going to play this in a second here. Hey, glass half empty. There's a CNN video with the terrorists saying they knew the police were on their side. Yep. They also took selfies. I'm going to play that later in the program too. So there you go. They videotapes. You have no idea who killed the officer. Okay, sure. Terror attack. Lol. You hypocrite. Looks like we got a Trumper in the chat. It's not a terror attack. No. They were trying to storm the Capitol to overturn the results of an election. So they were trying to go to the Capitol to terrorize legislators into overturning the results of the election. It's not a terror attack, though. No. They were just literally trying to take hostages, lawmakers hostages, and terrorize them into doing their bidding. But it's not a terror attack. No way. Nah. Dumb motherfucker. All right, let's get into Tucker Carlson. So this is Tucker the night of the Capitol terror attack, where the Republican Party decided to incite a riot and let a bunch of Republicans and white supremacists inside the halls of Congress and endanger the lives of probably, I don't know, maybe 1 million people total or so in that area, including a police officer who was murdered. So this is Tucker Carlson's take. I have yet to see it. It's, let's just see.
The images of what has taken place in Washington, too little time has been spent thinking about why. Anyone who's trying to understand the significance of what's going on right now ought to watch the video of the woman who was shot inside the U.S. Capitol this afternoon. In the footage, which we're not going to show you because it's too upsetting, but you can find it on the internet, the woman is standing in a hallway right off the House floor at the center of the Capitol building.
Trying to break into a room with Secret Service agents pointing guns at her, telling her to stop.
She appears to be in her 20s. She's got an American flag tied around her neck. The scene around
She had a Trump flag tied around her neck, and she was not in her 20s.
her is chaotic. People are bumping into each other, yelling, trying to get through the door into the Senate chamber. Suddenly, with no warning, there is gunfire. You hear a shot, and the woman falls. She's been hit with a bullet. Seems like the neck could be the chest. Apparently, it was fired by someone in law enforcement. People in the hallway scream. The camera closes in on the woman's face. She looks stunned. She is staring straight ahead, unblinking. In her eyes, you can see that she knows she's about to die, which in the end she did. The woman died a couple of hours ago at a local hospital. So what can we learn from this?
Again, this is what I've been saying. Imagine those last, 20 seconds of your life where you're like, I sacrificed my life for Donald Trump? Right? Imagine, you're flashing your life, I will never see my kids graduate college because I decided to do something dumb in the name of Donald Trump. I will never meet my grandchildren because I decided to try to destroy the U.S. government because Trump told me to. Just think about that. Right? Think about that. It's incredible.
It's not enough to call it a tragedy. Imagine for a second getting the call and learning that was your daughter. The last time you spoke to her, she was heading to Washington for a political rally. Now she's dead. You'll never talk to her again. Seriously, imagine that. If you have children, it will put you in the right frame of mind.
Again, Tucker Carlson here is trying to make this person look like, oh, such a victim. Oh, Tucker Carlson, by the way, the same person who told you George Floyd wasn't killed by the cops. He had died of a drug overdose, right? Remember that? Oh, the cops didn't kill him. He was tripping out on drugs. He's a criminal and a thug. That's what Tucker Carlson said about someone like George Floyd. So isn't it interesting that someone can be murdered by the police? The government can murder an innocent person. And Tucker Carlson is so quick to demonize and vilify that person who was murdered. Now, in this instance, someone can terroristically storm the Capitol of the United States. And Tucker Carlson is trying to pretend that they were an angel. Can you imagine that? Look at the American flag. Fox News has the American flag in the background right now while they are endorsing a terrorist attack. This is the day of.
That's what we're watching. And we may be watching a lot more of it in the coming days. Political violence begets political violence. That is always true. It is an iron law. It never changes. And we have to be against that, no matter who commits the violence or under what pretext, no matter how many self-interested demagogues assure us the violence is justified or necessary, as they have been assuring us, lying to us for the past 6 months. We have a duty to oppose all of this, not simply because political violence kills other people's children, which it does, but because in the end, it doesn't work. No good person will live a happier life because that girl was killed in the hallway of the Capitol today.
Actually, this might be a little bit of an edgy take, but I will. Seeing that video of her dying made me laugh. So I'm just saying, my day was made a little bit better. I was a little scared seeing all this stuff, and then as soon as I realized that she bled out on a Trump flag, that brightened my mood a little bit.
So our only option as a practical matter is to fix what is causing this in the first place. We don't have a choice. You may have nothing in common with the people on the other side of the country. Increasingly, you probably don't. But you're stuck with them. The idea that groups of Americans will somehow break off into separate, peaceful nations of like-minded citizens, that's a fantasy. That will not happen. There is no such thing as a peaceful separation. There never has been, and there won't be.
I agree
The two
with that,
hemispheres of this country are inseparably intertwined. They are co-joined twins. Neither can leave without killing the other. So that's the first thing to know.
I agree
as
with
horrifying
that,
as this moment is, we have no option but to make it better, to gut it out. The second thing to consider, and it's related to the first, is why the woman who was killed today went to the rally in the first place. We don't know anything about her, but she did not look particularly radical. She bore no resemblance to the angry children we have seen again and again wrecking our cities. Pasty, entitled nihilists dressed in black, setting fires, spray painting slogans on statues. She didn't look like that. The woman in the Capitol Hall...
You know what that means, right? She was white. That's what he is saying right here. Like, I just want you to... She was white. She wasn't black. That's what he's saying.
Radical. She bore no resemblance to the angry children we have seen again and again wrecking our cities. Pasty, entitled nihilists dressed in black, setting fires, spray painting slogans on statues.
Oh, no. They're just dressed in black. No. I didn't say they were black. No. You meant they were dressed in black. No. They're not black. They were dressed.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.
She didn't look like that. The woman in the Capitol hallway looked pretty much like everyone else. So why was she there?
Everyone else means, hey, if you're watching Fox News, I already know you're white. These were all white people. They were all your people. That's what he's saying.
On a Wednesday. Why were any of them there today? We ought to think about that. If you want to fix it, you have to think about that. The only reason this country is rich and successful is because for hundreds of years we have enjoyed a stable political system. And the only reason...
What? Wait. What?
Country is rich and successful is because for hundreds of years we have enjoyed a stable political system. And the only reason that system is...
For hundreds of years we have enjoyed a stable political system.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Someone read a book, please.
Stable is because it's a democracy. It responds to voters. Democracy is our pressure relief valve. As long as people sincerely believe they can change things by voting, they stay calm. They don't storm the Bastille. They don't burst into the House chamber. They talk and they organize and they vote. But the opposite is also true. If people begin to believe that their democracy is fraudulent, if they conclude that voting is a charade, that the system is rigged.
Right now he's going to carry water for the conspiracy theories that led to a police officer and four or three of the, was it 3 or 4 of the Trumpers that died? I don't know. But again, it's just reinforcing the conspiracies.
And it's run in secret by a small group of powerful, dishonest people who are acting in their own interests. Then God knows what could happen. Actually, we do know what could happen. It's happening right now. It's happened in countless other countries over countless centuries. And the cycle is always the same because human nature never changes. Listen to us, screams the population.
It's human nature to storm the Capitol and attempt to kill people and take legislators hostage. That's human nature. I really, again, has he ever said this about Black Lives Matter protests? Oh, it's human nature when your neighbor gets, or when your brother gets, or when your wife gets shot and killed by police, for you to go out there and demand a defunding of the police department. That's human. Did he do that? No. Of course not. Of course not. Like he said, those weren't us. They were dressed in black. They weren't black. They were dressed in black.
Shut up and do what you're told, replied their leaders. In the face of dissent, the first instinct of illegitimate leadership is to crack down on the population. But crackdowns never make it better. Instead, they always make the country more volatile and more dangerous. The people in charge...
Unless they're black people, then law and order. Then, all of a sudden we need more cops when they're black. Or, wait, sorry, again, I forgot. That when they're dressed in black. My bad.
Charge really understand that. They don't want to. They don't care to learn or listen because all of this conversation is a referendum on them and their leadership. So they clamp down harder. Obey, I tell you, obey. This is the Romanov program. It ends badly every single time. But that doesn't mean they won't try it again. Of course they will, because it's their nature. It's how we got here in the first place. Millions of Americans sincerely believe the last election was fake. They
sincerely believe that because you told them that, Tucker Carlson. You lied to them, just like Donald Trump did, just like Josh Hawley did, just like Ted Cruz did, and the list goes on. You lied to them. That's why they believe that.
dismiss them as crazy. You can call them conspiracy theorists. You can kick them off Twitter. But that won't change their minds. Rather than trying to change their minds, to convince them and reassure them that the system is real, that the democracy works, as you would do if you cared about the country or the people who live here, our new leader...
Deflecting the blame. Oh, I get to go on my television show every single day and say whatever I want, and that makes it incumbent upon you to spend your entire day debunking me? What? What?
Will try to silence them.
He wants to deflect all of his responsibility for this coup attempt. That's what he wants to do. He wants to distance himself from it. Oh, it's just human nature. I had nothing to do with it. Oh, people just believe the election was fake. I didn't go on my show every single day saying that. What? Come on, man.
What happened today will be used by the people taking power to justify stripping you of the rights you were born with as an American. Your right to speak without being censored. Your right to assemble. To not be spied upon. To make a living. To defend your family, most critically. These are the most basic and ancient freedoms that we have. They're why we live here in the first place. They're why we're proud to be Americans. They're what make us different. And they're all now in peril. When thousands of your countrymen storm the Capitol building, you don't have to like it. We don't. You can be horrified by the violence, and as we said, and we'll say it again, we are horrified. It's wrong. But if you don't bother to pause and learn a single thing...
Again, I'm not gonna... Like, this guy never said this about Black Lives Matter protests. Never. This is a Again, they're... Sorry. When I said those, the lives matter that were dressed in black, not the black people. No, it's just the people that were shot and killed by police that were dressed in black. But again, this guy could not get any more racist. Really, this isn't even dog whistles. These are like fucking elephant whistles, right? He cannot get any more racist. He cannot be any more clear. The only protests you need to pontificate about are white protests. The only protesters you need to mourn are white protesters. The protesters that were shot and killed, that deserve to be shot and killed, those are the ones dressed in black. This is unbelievable. And I think, personally, again, I think the entire Republican Party is a terrorist organization. That's been factually established at this point. Ted Cruz was fundraising off of the coup attempt. He sent out emails and texts saying, "Give us money. We're going to fight for you," as people were storming the Capitol building. They all endorsed this. They all incited this. And now they're going to try to wash their hands of it and throw Trump under the bus? No. I think people like Tucker Carlson should be held accountable. He should be sent to prison for inciting a riot and for lying about the election. That's what I think. But maybe that's a little authoritarian of me. Hey, what am I? If we have prisons, I say we get rid of the nonviolent drug offenders, bring in all the riotous, treasonous, seditionist motherfuckers, and then we can start working on prison abolition. Right? Like, I'm a prison abolitionist, right? But we got them right now. Let's throw these motherfuckers in there, and then, and only then, once we figure out how to, like, you know, get rid of the prisons, and hey, maybe if we throw the entire Republican Party in the prison, maybe they'll back us up in some capacity, right? But these people need to be held accountable for their actions. Again, this isn't a random YouTuber that gets 3 views on their random blog. This is Tucker Carlson, who hosts the highest viewed cable show in the world. This is not some dude posting a fucking Periscope stream while they drive to work in the morning. It gets like a viewer, and the viewer is like them who like have it open in another tab or something. This is Tucker Carlson. So I'm sick of these motherfuckers. And again, we need to hold them accountable because the boiling point has been reached. And if it gets worse than this, then it's going to get really, really bad. And so we got to stop this, stop the bleeding while we still can. Because this is no good. It's no good. But in the words of our president,
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
There you go. Can we talk some positive talk? No, sorry, not gonna happen. No positivity here. What? This is a liberal SJW stream. We have to be mad all the time. Speaking of being mad all the time, and speaking of people holding people accountable, here is Mick Mulvaney trying to whitewash himself and distance himself from the coup attempt that he administered and helped enable when he worked for the criminal gangster in the White House. Let's look.
I called Mike Pompeo last night, left him a note, told him that I'd be resigning from that. I can't do it. I can't stay. It's a nothing thing. It doesn't affect the outcome. It doesn't affect the transition, but it's what I've got, right? And it's a position I really enjoy doing, but you can't do it. And I wouldn't be surprised to see more of my friends resign over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. It'll be completely understandable.
Bitcoin was, I like how Bitcoin is actually appearing on CNBC. Can we talk about this? Like, fuck Mick Mulvaney. Fuck this guy. Like, who cares? But they got Bitcoin stats at the bottom.
Next 24 to 48 hours, it'll be completely understandable if they did. I called Mike.
So I was going to make a video that just kind of lumped in. By the way, look at this guy's, like, face. Like, that's not a real face. Like, he looks like... This is a box. Like, his face is literally a box. I'm sorry. But, I was going to make a video that just lumped a lot of these people in and say, like, Republicans are going to try to whitewash themselves. But I decided it would be a lot better if I were to just do all of them individually. So here's Mick Mulvaney, former chief of staff, trying to say, oh, it's not that I was in the administration of the criminal president and knew that he was lying and, just enabled his lies and just held my nose and just walked about. No, it wasn't me. No, I'm out of here. No, I had no idea this guy was doing. Like, what? You had no idea? You just had no idea. Donald Trump was tweeting it out there. Again, if I know that, hey, I'm going to stream all day, something might happen today. If I know that, you're telling me Mick Mull motherfucking Vaney doesn't know that? What? He didn't know? He just had no idea? Donald Trump tweeting every single day, I'll see you all on the 6th. Just had no idea that, when Donald Trump said he would see everyone on the 6th, I had no idea that that meant Donald Trump was going to see everyone on the 6th. I just had no idea. But again, this is going to be what they're going to try to do. They're going to use this moment to duck out and pretend like they did nothing wrong. Every Republican needs to be held accountable for this. Personally, I think we need to declare the Republican Party a terrorist organization. And the bare minimum I will accept, every senator and House member who objected to the election results needs to be sent to prison and expelled from Congress immediately. Every single administrator in the Trump administration, every advisor, every cabinet secretary, everyone who did any policy decision, send them to fucking prison as well. We need to hold these people accountable. Now, if you want to say Joe Schmo, who was a state delegate for West Virginia 30 years ago, shouldn't be thrown in jail, I'll listen to your story, right? But I think that everyone, especially who enabled and allowed Donald Trump to do what he was doing, Ted Cruz, right? These motherfuckers, they need to be held accountable. They need to not only be saying, everyone pointing at them saying, you were really bad. They need to be expelled from Congress and expelled from society. Throw them on a boat and just send them to an island somewhere. Give them a pickaxe and an apple and say, have fun, have at it, bud. They're individualists, right? They want to pick themselves up by their bootstraps, right? I'm sick of these motherfuckers. Republicans are terrorists. And Mick Mulvaney is no exception. Every single one of these people, every single one of them, they all need to be sent to prison. Again, I just want to reiterate. Imagine what the discourse would be if a Black Lives Matter protest stormed the Capitol. What do you think Mick Mulvaney would say? Food for thought there. Fuck these motherfuckers. So hopefully everyone's having a good day. How do y'all like this second stream? Am I energy levels? Are they consistent? How is it? How am I doing? Like I like a genuine feedback here. Like I feel like this is, not too bad and all that kind of stuff. And how's everyone feeling about this? Good stuff? Good stuff. There you go, see? I love good stuff. It's a lot better than bad stuff, that's for sure. Good stuff is way better than bad stuff. Does anyone know how to sidestep Washington Post paywalls? I know with New York Times you can do a little trick in the URL, but I would really love it. Like, I really don't want to give Washington Post money, you know? And, like, it's really annoying to, like, hit, like, a fucking Tor window every time, you know? Like, so, like, does anyone know, like, is there a quick trick or... Moshmaster D. Prison is nothing but a bed and breakfast to them. 3 squares and a bed is all they care about. They won't see general population. That's a good point. That's a good point. Incognito. Yeah, but, like... I don't know. With New York Times, I will tell you this. With New York Times, with any New York Times, any article on the entire website, if you put a dot after the com, so like NewYorkTimes.com / whatever the link is, that bypasses the paywall. So I'm just letting you know, like any link on the entire website, just put a dot after the com, so .com . And there you go. So I've got another thread here of another. Again, I'm really trying. So I got another thread here on Twitter. A very sad story. So I think I'm actually... This is such a sad story, actually, that I think I'm going to get some music to put on. Because I really want to amplify how this is such a sad story. And again, we really need to be honest here. So again, I'm going to put on some music here. And we'll read this thread. So... Here's a photo of Kevin Greason, the 55-year-old Athens, Alabama, interesting state, man who died of a medical emergency during the unrest in Washington yesterday, posted on Parler last month with the caption, "I wish these motherfuckers would come to my hood." As we can see, this is a brilliant photograph. What is this Christmas tree? Talk about a war on Christmas. Talk about a war on motherfucking Christmas. What is this? This tree is a war on Christmas. What the fuck? Oh my god. Let's keep going. Grayson appeared to identify with the Proud Boys, and he repeatedly posted and amplified Proud Boys content on his Parler account. Hell yes, Proud Boys! He also seems to have been a die-hard Trump supporter. Who'd have thunk? Making and sharing a number of Parler posts called Parleys, by the way, I can't, criticizing other Republicans who he didn't see as loyal enough to the president. And we can't stop a fucker from cheating in an election. The only Republican with balls is Trump. You fuckers aren't doing shit to help Trump. Instead of posting this bullshit, you be doing is something to help Trump. My god. And he repeatedly wrote violent messages on his Parler account, including multiple posts calling for violence, and one in which he seemingly hoped House Speaker Nancy Pelosi would die. I'm in! Call me, I have guns and ammo! Let's take this fucking country back! Load your guns into the streets! And we can't stop a fucker from... I already read that one. Maybe Nancy Pelosi will get it. Die! This guy was nuts. This guy's crazy! But, you know, we just need to have a discussion with this guy. We just need to have a civil debate with this guy, right? Just engage in the battlefield of ideas. So, Greason's family has released the following statement along with this photo. I love this photo, by the way. So let's read. And again, I want to be serious here. This is their family. Now imagine you get that phone call. And it's like, hey, Grandpa died trying to destroy the United States. Imagine getting that, like, hey, okay, once I gotta say, hey, I got a phone call, this is really important, right? And then you walk out of the meeting that you're in, right? You're in a meeting, I guess, in this scenario. And then, like, you know, your brother's on the phone, and it's like, okay, what's up? What's going on? And then your brother tells you, hey, I just got this phone call. It seems that Dad had a heart attack because he was trying to overthrow the United States government. Like, what is that? Like, think about that. Like, think about, yeah, so, yeah, you know Dad, right? He went to the Washington, yeah, he's dead now. He burst into the Capitol tried to kill Nancy Pelosi and then had a heart attack because he's a dumbass. Like, all right, so this is what the Greason family says. Kevin was a wonderful father and husband who loved life. He loved to ride motorcycles. He loved his job and his co-workers, and he loved his dogs. Kevin was an advocate of President Trump, and attended the event on January 6th to show his support. He was excited to be there to experience this event. He was not there to participate in violence or rioting, nor did he condone such actions. Kevin had a history of high blood pressure, and in the midst of the excitement suffered a heart attack. Our family is devastated. We are thankful for all the thoughts and prayers, and appreciate privacy at this time as we grieve. Now, is this in poor taste? Yeah, this is in poor taste. And I feel for the family that has to have that phone call. I feel for the family that has to be like, like imagine the kid. Now, again, this is going to be a public thing. January 6th is going to be a public thing, right? Now, imagine you're the great-grandson, or let's go like where it's like 2063, right? You're the great-great-grandson of this dude, right? Imagine you're like in 4th grade, right? And you're learning about the Capitol Hill bombing, or like, but not bombing, the storming of the Capitol Hill, right? And you read the people that died on that day, and you're like, wait a second, that's my last name. And then you ask mommy about it. You go home, and it's like, hey, mommy, did someone in our family storm the Capitol 70 years ago? And then your mom has to say, yep, our great-grandfather had a heart attack because he tried to overthrow the, like again, I'm thinking about the reverberations of this, and I feel for the family, but my God, right? How much of a dullard do you have to be? I swear to my Lord that I don't even believe in. Oh, they're not sending their best.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
And again, is this in poor taste? Maybe. But also, I don't consider Republicans human, so oops, sorry. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's do this. Let's do some positive news, right? Everyone keeps saying, oh, I'm focusing on this and that and the other thing. Let's do some positive news. Oh, well, this isn't positive, but I'm good, whatever. All right. So Ilhan Omar was on MSNBC, I guess, yesterday, and she was talking about holding the Trumpers accountable. And so this is what she tweets. How this story is remembered in history is going to matter. We can never allow people to forget how we got here and how Republicans have been complicit. Again, throwing it out of the fucking whatever. I don't know my analogies. Truth is how we account for this and prevent it from happening again. All right, so let's listen.
Republicans have been complacent in his crimes. They have been complacent in the danger that this president has posed. It's completely devastating to know that they are self-serving, they are craven in their self-serving, and that they're only worried about what this means for them politically and are not worried about fulfilling their oath of office. They're not worried about protecting our republic. They're not worried about the strength of our democracy. They're not worried about how dangerous the president they are enabling is, and what it means for our nation's history. I believe they have blood on their hands, and no one should forget that. Republicans have.
So she knocks again. She's great. She's great. Like, she's just wonderful. Like, and actually, like, brilliant. Like, it's incredible. And am I standing a politician right now? Sorry, the Force the Vote crew. Are they watching? They're still hate watching me. They keep leaving comments, right? But yes, I am. I'm guilty as charged when it comes to standing Ilhan Omar. But again, the Republican Party enabled all of this to happen, right? and we need to hold them accountable. Like, again, if we just let this slide, like Joe Biden, and I'm going to get into that. Joe Biden is saying, oh, we just let him slide. Come on, man. Whatever. Yeah, sure, they tried to destroy the government, but let him slide. Come on, man. That's what Joe Biden said. He said that today. That's what Joe Biden, the president-elect of the United States, said. Come on, man. That's what he said. And so that is not the correct answer, because if we let these people get away with it, it won't even be 10 years before they try it again. It won't even be 10 months before they try it again. These people were trying to overthrow state capitals. They went to state capitals in Georgia, Oregon, Washington, to try to overthrow states as well. This was orchestrated. This was planned. This was prepared for. And every single Republican elected official who enabled it, who fundraised off it, who bolstered it on their social media pages, who retweeted people, who retweeted this stuff, they need to be sent to prison. They need to be bare minimum expelled from Congress. And if they aren't, then Jesus Christ. We expelled people from Congress for trying to overthrow the government before. Why don't we do it again? Why? Because a lot of these politicians are pussies. That's why. Joe Biden is a fucking loser. Joe Biden is garbage. Come on, man. I know that, yeah, Trump's a bad guy, but, you know, come on, man. Unbelievable. We need leaders like Ilhan Omar. She's brilliant. She's wonderful. And, again, she just does a great job. And we need to protect people like Ilhan Omar from all forms of people, from the Force the Vote crew to fucking radical right-wingers who send her death threats, because she is enemy number one as far as these people are concerned. And she needs to be protected because she is, again, one of our greatest leaders. But, yeah. Mosh Master with a $50 super chat. We cannot forget the tragedy of, at the Knoxville Unitarian Church. A guy entered and killed 2 people because he wanted to kill liberals. The right failed at the Capitol. I won't be surprised if they turn their attention to the voters. Again, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That is a brilliant point. And they've been doing this for years. Again, like, look at the whole summer. Proud Boys would get, like, in monster trucks and go to, like, cities like Portland and, like, try to fucking instigate riots. Like, they would go to New York and try to, like, beat the shit out of random Muslim people walking down the street. Or at least people who they thought were Muslim. Like, you know, like, they misidentified people all the time because they're fucking dumb. Right? So, like, yeah, these people are fucking nuts. They're crazy. There is no debating with them. Come on, man. The fever will break. Come on, man. No. Anyone who says the fever will break, you need to be sent to prison as far as I'm concerned as well. The fever. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Trump's a little upset, man. Just having a bad day. Fucking Christ. Hey, Torrential Rage. Chickens see all. Eric W. Fun Police. Don. Imso Right. Anyone who said Kyle Rittenhouse was a real American, they should all be sent to prison. I'm even talking about Twitter posters. If you are out there endorsing Kyle Rittenhouse, get the fuck in a gulag as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to put that in the segment, but, you know, it's here. It's in the full version, so. But goddamn, fuck those guys. Seriously. I don't think there is such a thing as right-wing anarchists, Don. People who identify as right-wing and anarchist don't know the definition of either of those words, and I think it does a disservice to identify them in the ways that they want. When they call themselves anarchists, it only detracts from what the ideology of anarchism actually is. I'm just saying, that's my little nitpick. You know, I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just saying that's my little nitpick. I'm allowed to nitpick. I like, you can't tell me I can't nitpick, right? So, a lot of people are saying that the police were absent on January 6th. A lot of people were saying, oh, well, there's only like 10 arrests at the Capitol, right? So, like, where were the cops? They were just nowhere? Well, actually, here's what they were doing. They were arresting journalists. Let's watch. So there's a video of, I think this is like live on like NBC or something, one of those mainstream media outlets. And, they're just being arrested. Oops. Right? Oops. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that really weird? Is that like really bizarre? But the cops weren't there, right? They're just gone. No, the cops were there. They knew what team they were on. Arresting journalists. And, you know, we just had like, you know, a couple thousand people break into the halls of Congress. And, you know, but we'll deal with that later. Let's go outside and arrest some journalists and reporters. Like, come on, let's see. Can we score any journalists today? Come on, man. Like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. If anyone, are people really still like where's the Law and Order crew at? Well, the Law and Order crew actually just stormed the Capitol and killed some cops. So I mean, I don't know what they're. Again, remember they were waving Blue Lives Matter flags as they stormed the Capitol and a cop died. Oops. Oops. This was the same day. This is, look, posted January 6th, 9 p.m. This is the same day. Instead of tracking down the rioters, what they did was they tracked down the people reporting on the rioters. Uh-oh, did that one catch us on film opening the gates? Let's go lock her up. She knows too much. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Freedom of speech, right? Freedom of the press, right? Whew. My God.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
My Lord. But again, hopefully, everyone's enjoying today's second show. Got a double dip today. I might double dip tomorrow as well. So I'm just throwing that out there. So I might double dip for a couple days just to get a lot of this news out. Again, I want my channel to be like, I want, you know, first of all, let me say this as just like an overall mission statement. If you subscribe to me, I hope that you subscribe to other people as well, because there's a lot of stories that I do not cover. I hope you also read the news on your own. So I hope you subscribe to multiple different commentary outlets, and I hope you read as much news as you can on your own time. I'm not trying to like, in a lot of ways, my job here is to truncate that kind of stuff and tell you what's important, right? But at the very least, I think you need to get things from multiple sources, because there are things that I overlook. There's things that I just don't hear about, right? But in this moment, at this current moment in time, I want my channel to be a place where you can learn almost as much as possible when it comes to this event, what led up to it, why it happened, and who's responsible. That's something I want to try to lay out as much of that information as possible, just because I think it's very important. And as someone with a platform of any size, of like, 70 viewers right now, it's pretty cool, right? But with a platform of any size, I think it's important to properly educate an audience. And again, it's also important to, like, again, let you know that, again, there are stories that I overlook. Like, the things that I show on my program are editorial decisions that most people don't realize. Like, I'm showing you this instead of showing you something else. And something else could theoretically be more important, but I'm choosing to show you this anyway. And so that's why I think you should definitely subscribe to as many people as possible. At the same time, as a YouTuber, that undercuts me, right? Now, again, this goes back into the Jimmy Dore thing, right? But a lot of YouTubers try to get you to unsubscribe from as many people as possible to say, so they can concentrate all of your watch time and super chats and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so again, I'm going to be platforming a lot more people on my show. I'm going to try to have a lot more guests on my show, and if someone comes on my show, I mean, go follow them, check them out, that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of really bad political channels. So don't worry about that, Don. But, you know, we gotta support as many people as possible, myself included, obviously. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Oh, this is pretty cool. Hold up. This is neat. This is interesting. All right. This is really funny. All right, you ready for this? Is everyone ready? If you're not ready, then, I mean, like, I'll wait until everyone's ready. I'm just kidding. All right, let's go. All right, so, I almost, you know, okay, so, we've got some interesting individuals and some very, very, you know, interesting individuals. So, you may not have known this, but there's a terrorist attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th. And part of the responsibility, part of the rioters that broke into the Capitol and attempted to overthrow the United States government, a couple of them were actually state legislators. And this one from West Virginia was walked out in handcuffs for participating in a sedition and treason. And I haven't seen the video. This is breaking news. This just came out, like, you know, an hour ago. So let's watch. West Virginia delegate Derek Evans has been taken into federal custody. He's being charged after allegedly entering a restricted area of the U.S. Capitol with rioters Wednesday. A woman saying he was his grandmother came out telling us to leave as he was put in a car.
I know you got to do your job. That's my grandbaby's in there.
Anything you want to say on his behalf?
He's a fine man. And
There's very fine people on both sides. There's very fine. You had bad people, and you had very fine people on both sides. He's a very fine person. Very fine.
He's a fine man. And thank you, Mr. Trump, for inviting a riot at the White House.
And you're his grandmother?
Wait, say that again?
For inviting. And thank you, Mr. Trump, for inviting a riot at the White House.
And you're his grandmother?
I'm his grandmother.
What does that mean, thank you, Mr. Trump, for invoking a riot at the... What does that mean? What? Can we identify that? What? Is that it? God. What was that? Like...
And thank you, Mr. Trump, for inviting a riot.
Was that sarcasm? Because it doesn't really sound like sarcasm.
And thank you, Mr. Trump, for inviting a riot at the White House.
And you're his grandmother?
I can't, like... That has to be sarcasm, right? Like, I'm clueless. I actually don't know. That is sarcasm, right? Like, I think so, but I can't tell. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, her grandson stormed the Capitol building. Right? So it's like, okay. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if that's sarcasm or not. I don't know. I have no idea. Either way, West Virginia State Delegate Derek Evans taken into federal custody. And, something. I don't know what this is. I have no idea, but something. I don't know. I have no idea. So, but anyway, that's certainly interesting. And again, this is not the only state legislator that was caught doing this kind of stuff. And there's also a lot of people that are business owners, a lot of people that are, like, well respected in their communities. And then you go to the fucking, the Congress to try to storm the fucking place for some reason because you think you're playing a video game. And then it's like, I don't know. But that's really funny. And I hope they rot in prison for the rest of their lives. Fuck them. Piece of garbage. I hope Baked Alaska gets 20 years. Same, 30, 40. I'm just gonna hop in on this one. I'm just hopping in. I like the Antifada. I don't listen to many podcasts. So I mean, but I like what I've seen of it. And I also really like Majority Report. I listen to Majority Report more than any other podcast, I'd say, because they cover as many things as possible. So it's like, okay. And so as far as the argument or the discussion, I don't know if it's an argument, but it's a discussion at the very least. In my chat, as far as Sam Sater versus Jamie, I think they're both good, and I think they complement each other. Sam's opinions are more grounded in what we do tomorrow, whereas Jamie's opinions are more grounded in what we do in our lifetime. She's also way younger, so that's another thing. Like Sam's like fucking like 80 years old. He's gonna die tomorrow, right? Like Sam's gonna like die any minute now. So like he's more concerned with what they're gonna do today, whereas Jamie is, again, like, and her role is to say like this is a future we got to strive for. So I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. It's a good role on the show in my opinion, and I enjoy their work. On Tifa, I bookmarked the video you sent me. Was it yesterday? I don't remember. I'm sorry. And I'll listen to it soon. I've just whenever I play video games, I tend to have podcasts on in the background, and I just haven't really. I didn't do much yesterday, so but I will listen to it. I promise you that, Don. I know. I'm just there's the joke that he's a boomer. It's a joke. I'm just joking. I'm just but yeah, I think you got to understand that there's nothing wrong with saying I have a 100-year horizon with my ideology. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think I try to have like a blend of that. Like I want, like for example, I think by the time that I'm 50 years old, if we haven't banned high fructose corn syrup in this society, right? I think that's a huge problem. But like, let's say my ideal scenario is by the time I'm 50, ban high fructose corn syrup, ban unhealthy foods, right? Limit and slow down the aging of the human body. Try to find a way to reverse aging of the human body, right? Redistribute the wealth. Now, Elon Musk is the richest person in the world. I haven't covered that yet, but just throwing that out there. Now it's in the ether. Redistribute the wealth to all citizens of the world, not just a country, but the world. And, we can demilitarize. We can, especially when it comes to nuclear weapons, we can definitely ramp down our nuclear weapons programs. I want all of this by the time I'm 50. And I will strive to do that. I will strive to get to that position. And just because I want the left possible of a horizon in the future. But also, you have to be grounded, unlike the force the vote dullards. Unlike those people, you have to be grounded. You have to say like, yeah, we're not going to get Medicare for all tomorrow. We might get it 5 years from now. Absolutely. 5 years from now, we might get Medicare for all. And we should work toward that. But because we're not going to get it tomorrow, it doesn't mean you should sit at home and smoke weed and fucking play video games all day and just like yell at politicians on Twitter and think that's activism. That's not. We gotta actually do work. So that's my position. You should be able to explain your ideology, and in my opinion, Jamie can't. Well, I disagree with that assertion. I think you should give her another chance. But, also, you should also listen to me instead. So I'm just not, I'm not trying to, I'm just saying, being a thinker and being someone that speaks in vagueness isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And I really want to underscore that. So again, I believe her role on the show is to say that we need to expand our horizon and we need to think to the future. I think that is her role on the program. At least that's what it seems like from my viewership. Is that, I don't know. So I think that just because she doesn't explain her ideology perfectly every show doesn't necessarily mean yeah, hold up. Are you on Discord? I'll bring you on right now if you want. DM me so you're at the top of my list. Jake, and then we'll bring you in. Well, yeah, I mean, I disagree, Don, and that's the thing. Is like, you can think that she detracts, and that's fine. Other people think the other thing, and I think that it's good to have that melting pot. All right, so, I'm just gonna, like, Jake wants to do something. I don't know. I guess. Sure. Like, why not? Hello? Hello?
Yo.
What do you want from me? You want, like, you're trying to...
Well,
are you storming the show? Are you a rioter?
Well, listen, I just love your shit so much.
So you're storming the Capitol.
I get to watch so many different YouTube channels doing this stuff, and I come to you all the time now. Once I discovered you, I was like, this chick is just does it right. I mean, the way you focus on the stuff that's important, these other people, they seem to get it, but they don't want to focus too much on it. And you just don't give a shit because, you're not afraid. That's what it is.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on my show to highlight how great I am. That's great.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. You could have paid me to do this, but you didn't.
In fact, you're paying me, right? Like, you gave me money earlier, I think.
Yeah, I did, because I want to support you.
Not only am I getting a free recommendation and an endorsement and money... Well, that's it. Actually, I fucked up my syntax.
There's more.
There's more.
That's why I wrote, because Nomiki just told me that this clip that I made of your show,
right,
is going to be on her show today. So what I was going to do was kind of survey her show, watch it as it's going, and then when it's on, I would love to. I think it would be great because you did the fascists among us. I think I'm going to go right now, and I'm going to get this this website. I'm going to see if I can get the fascists among us, because I think that's like where we should go with this. We should just constantly have the people who are clearly acting like fascists in a forum where everybody can just observe the fascists being fascists, because the way you put it in that clip that I just did from, I think it was yesterday,
right?
You just did an amazing job at showing these tweets of these people and being like, no, you're not a leftist, you're a fascist. Look at you. Look at what you're saying. If you're saying this at this moment, you're a fascist. And I think we just need to constantly be calling it out, because we're in danger. We're in danger. This is dangerous for these people who have audiences who think that they're leftists. They're actually fascists.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that's my thing. Is that, like, imagine, right? Like, okay, I like Bernie Sanders, so, I mean, he's a democratic socialist. Let's go look online and see if I can find podcasts. And you find these guys, because that's how I found all these guys during the primary. They were like, yeah, Bernie, woo. And then it's like, like, after Bernie leaves, and it's like, what the fuck are they doing? What are they doing?
But it's so confusing, too, right? Because you're like, wait, am I not seeing something? Am I not left enough?
And that's the thing with the purity test, is they always say they're mega left. They're so left it'll make your head spin. And then that makes you think leftism is endorsing a fascist coup. What? That's not leftism. What?
Yeah, because America is so evil that you can use more evil to get rid of that evil. And anyway, they're all the same evil, right? Because that's what the equivocation is, too. Once you equivocate enough, Nancy Pelosi is just like that guy who's sitting at her desk. No different. In fact, like Jimmy says, we should invite him in to control the House for a little while.
Did you? I covered that this morning. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I know. It's great. So I did a clip of that for you.
Oh.
I know it's not helpful because it's not going to your YouTube.
I mean, if I get subscribers out of it, it's a win.
Yeah, I mean, I always hook you up with it, like I put you together with it. I say this is where the original came from, but I'm just wanted to see, because Nomiki loved it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that people love my speech.
And we're putting it out to all of the people who need to see it. I mean, all the people who need to see it are seeing it. And you're doing it great.
Who's
job.
the people that
Nobody
need to see it, or is that code? Is this like you're doing on air
it's
speak?
code for
Okay.
the true leftist media personalities. They're all seeing it.
The
They're all
true
seeing your show.
leftists. Whoa, I thought the true leftists were trying to force the vote.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
So I'm looking at Nomi Key right now, and I think maybe what we should do is bring her show on to your show. I mean, you can do that, right? Live?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, wouldn't it be interesting to see what Nomi Key is going to say about your
I mean,
shit?
it could be interesting, but I don't know. It's kind of weird to do it live, though. Isn't that weird? So that's weird.
I don't know. I think it's cool.
I mean, it's cool.
She's got Francesca Fortini on right now.
Cool.
You
Why
know
am
her,
I
right?
not on? Why was I not invited?
That's a good question. I'll tell you why
question.
I think. I'll tell you why I think.
Oh shit!
It's only because she's so super booked. She's got everybody booked like minute to minute. So, but you're right. I mean, she should have had you on for this.
I'll show you a book. This is the book I'm currently going through. Hacking of the
What's it?
American Mind. You gotta look at the
You
screen.
didn't put me on the screen.
You gotta look at the screen. You gotta look.
So
this is a book.
Look at YouTube.
If we're booking in any capacity, I know Nomiki's got a book club. This is a book.
Does. What is the book?
The Hacking of the American Mind. It's about how corporations lied to us about food and made us all obese and unhealthy and diabetic.
Who wrote it?
Robert Lustig. Pretty good.
And when was that?
I think it was last year, I think, or the year before.
Can you put your screen on my Discord?
No.
No.
I'm sorry. The joke is over. The moment's over. It's unbelievable.
Do you want me to let you know when she's covering you and we could watch it? Because I want you to see.
Well, let me ask the chat. Does the chat want to do that?
Shit too.
If the chat wants to do that, I'll do it. If they don't want to do that, then
I can't imagine the chat wouldn't want to do it. Who wouldn't want to watch you being commented on by someone else?
Okay, it's me commenting on someone commenting on me. That's what that is, right? It's like an Inception sort of thing.
Jake S is going crazy for it. Look.
Jake, yeah, I wonder who that is. That's a mysterious user.
He's going nuts for it.
Whoa, they got rainbows over there. Okay, I mean...
Who's Mosh Master?
Mosh Master. They're the master of moshing. That's what they are.
Cool.
Yeah.
But did you read his super chat?
I did. I read it instantly. You weren't here, clearly. You were watching enemy streamers.
Anybody's the enemy.
Yeah, everyone who's not me is the enemy.
What was the whole point of this? The guy entered and killed 2 people because he wanted to kill liberals.
Yeah.
The Unitarian Church. All right, well, I mean, he wanted that message out there. I think that's great. I see you're getting. I think you're going to get traction. You're going to get a lot of viewers very soon. We're really.
I will accept as many viewers as I can. I accept.
I mean,
donations
who are these
in the
smart
form of
people in your
viewers.
chat right now? Who are these people? They're very smart, you know. And are they still
The
patronizing
highest
you?
IQ. They're what?
Oh, the highest. I hate to say it, but are they still patronizing you like they were?
They were being very patronizing. Actually, speaking of the patronizing behavior of these fascists, honestly, in the chat room.
Yeah.
I actually updated my Patreon account, and now you can do annual pledges. So if you want to pay for a whole year at once, you can do that. Again, as soon as I did that, as soon as I made this update, all these people just sent me messages, and they were patronizing me, and they were just being very rude and kind of obnoxious. And to be honest,
how much is a year for you?
I don't know. There's like 3 tiers. I have no idea how it works. I'm sorry. I don't know how super chats work. I don't know how any of that shit works. I don't know how PayPal works. I barely know how PayPal works.
You just know that you get some weed at the end of it.
As long as I get paid in weed, that's great. Or other such substances. Wink, wink. But yeah, so that's a thing. Again, my Patreon doesn't have anything on it, so it's not like it's not. You're not. You know, if you want to, I don't.
Well, wait. Why don't you do like private
meetings
and stuff?
No, should I? I mean, maybe I should.
I mean, at this point, maybe not, just because. Well, you get like over 50 people in here, so maybe it would be nice. People, I don't know if you're comfortable with that though. Like Ben does like a private meeting.
Private
Zoom,
meeting? That just sounds so elitist.
Well, it is. It is.
Meeting.
But people get to talk to him, and we're trying to like build a community because he'll talk. We just talk together and develop the ideas of the community, really. So it's like a community building process.
That's an interesting thought. I do
It's
have my
kinda
stream
cool.
up right now.
You have your stream up right now.
Well, can you see my stream though? Like, do you have the video on?
Yeah, I'm watching Nomiki right now.
I'm gonna because this is something we have to talk about, and this is a very serious conversation.
Let me look.
Okay, so I'm looking at my viewership here, and as soon as I brought you on, it appears that there's a dip. Can you explain that? Can you explain that? Is that just like natural?
I'm a very powerful person.
Like,
so
what is that? Like, that's weird, right?
That's just anti-fascist energy.
What is that though? Like,
two of us together.
Like, the whole stream was going up, and then as soon as I bring you on, it goes down. That's weird.
Right, but that makes sense.
It does make sense?
Yeah, it's our anti-fascist energy together really pushes them away because you've got some fascists in there.
Right, that is true. They were telling me earlier to stop the steal, and I said no.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
You don't have anybody to get rid of these people, huh?
No, I like them. I make fun of them. It's great.
Yeah, of course. On the phone, waking Jake.
Yeah, and
That's
again, you're causing a viewership decline. This
How much?
I lost 4 viewers, I think.
No, I just saw you gain 2 viewers. You went from 62 to 66.
I actually went from 73 to 60. That was the drop, 73 to 60. So I lost.
But now we're up to 66. And
so we're bringing it back. Like this.
These people are quality people.
That's true. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, you're coming in here and you're saying you're gonna get so many views. I'm like, you're gonna like, and then I lose viewers. Like, so that's weird, right? That's just. I'm just like, I wouldn't be doing my due diligence as a journalist if I weren't looking into these things, right?
For sure.
This is
for sure.
weird.
It couldn't have anything to do with like people want to eat, lunch or
no. Why would you eat lunch?
They have to go to the bathroom. Maybe you gotta go to the bathroom. It's definitely me who's causing this dip. And
absolutely.
Now we have to discover. Like, unfortunately, we don't really have data on who exactly left, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think that do you
have a fascist meter on there? Like, how many fascists are in your?
I wish.
Early in the morning, they went to
that's
the
hysterical.
table
but I think
with the black robe,
these are high
the
quality
black
people coming on now.
shield.
I think that these are also very high quality people. I hope. I mean, what are you gonna do? So okay, let me understand this because I'm really high and I forgot what you said earlier.
Let's talk about it again. I'll review it with you.
So you
know me
real quick. Let me start this.
Okay,
I gotta. This is my show and you're speaking over. I'm just. But
yeah. Totally.
Okay, so I'm doing my show, right? And my shows. I'm doing a second show today. Normally I don't do a second show.
I was so happy to see
but
this.
Now I'm doing another show, and so the momentum again. You can look at the viewership graph. Like, and actually, I will, for the sake of this conversation, I will bring up the full viewership graph because this is an important conversation, and we need to be having these conversations. So my momentum is beautiful. The stream is going wonderful, and again, then there's that mysterious dip right as soon as you come on.
Is that right?
Wow. Very mysterious, right? So again, my momentum is again, I'm just going strong. And then all of a sudden it goes down. But okay, so you come on my show, you invade my show. You right. Come in and you send me text messages. You spam my phone. You did welcome
me in. you
spammed my phone. Like you were telling me like I
was going a little nuts on that phone there. Yeah,
I've got like fucking 12,000 texts, and they might be death threats. I don't know.
A lot of texts.
And so so I'm just worried. I'm worried. Like, is this guy like if I don't bring this person on my stream, am I in danger? That's what so I brought you on my stream under duress, and then the viewership falls, and so I just want to know what's going on here. Like, so you come on my show, and I forgot what you're talking about, because honestly, I was just so stressed, I was so anxious, and now you're telling me that so you stole my content.
Oh, here you are. You're on Nomiki.
I'm on.
Go, Nomiki.
What?
Go get her show on.
Well, she didn't let me open. She didn't let me finish my opening. So now, okay,
It
now
doesn't matter.
my
You're on,
opening
you're
is
on, you're on.
ruined.
Do it. Oh, bring her.
Now my
They're
opening is
talking about
ruined.
you.
I don't even have the link. I have to go find this. You didn't link it to me. This was like you
shit.
could have linked it to me. I found it.
Just go to
So you linked it to me.
Nomiki's.
So okay,
I'm gonna-
so
I
she
should
is
play it
streaming.
for you.
Okay, I just
Listen,
I want to
listen.
reset this. So she is
Listen,
streaming.
listen.
I'm streaming her, streaming me. That's weird.
She's addressing folks who.
I'm gonna listen to it. I got this. I'm hearing the echo. You got it. Like this is now all of a sudden there's multiple audio streams.
Well, I've got her on here.
Well, I can bring her on.
You're not quick enough.
Well, I'm quick. I've got it right here. It's on right now.
Let's do it. It's
literally on.
All right.
I'm
Look,
gonna
she's
go.
talking
I'm gonna
about you.
rewind a little bit. Like we got to get the whole segment. I'm not gonna like.
Yeah, you don't have to be right on live. I'm
So,
gonna tell
okay,
her that
so-
you're watching live. I'm gonna tell her.
Okay, well, you be sure to do that. So you raid my show, you harass my show, and you bull rush it, and you storm on to tell me that someone is stealing my content, and then so I'm not going to get monetized from this. So you tell me that someone is stealing my content, and now debatably using it in a fair use fashion. So it appears that this show here is participating in a theft of resources of some kind. And so I'm just.
Oh, please!
I just have to figure out what's going on here. Like this is.
All right, it's gonna be good
right.
for you. Don't worry.
So
Keep watching.
should I put this on like 1.25 or is that too? Is that rude?
Why?
Is
Why
that
would
rude?
you do
I know.
that?
I don't know. I just do that. That's what I do. Is that rude?
It's not rude. It's just 125 is not bad. But I like. Nomiki has quite a I don't know. She's got a quick voice anyway.
Let's do
so
1.1. Can we? Is that compromise? 1.1?
Is there such a thing?
There is actually. I just did it.
No.
I did. Look.
1.1.
Yeah, look. Playback speed 1.1. You can see it right there.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Can you do 1.05?
I could, but I'm not going to. So anyway, so Nomiki is stealing my content, and
look at both girls in purple, though, huh? They look.
I
good in
know
purple.
they've got those professional setups. Meanwhile, I just have my dog sitting on the bed, and I've got an empty laundry container. This is the last shirt. I have to do laundry now. This is my last shirt.
Yeah, right? You should.
So this is I'm in distress. You know, like I'm doing extra shows instead of my laundry. This is a whole disaster. All right, so these people are stealing my content, and so let's watch.
Friend of our show, Andrea,
friend
has
of the
this
show
new YouTube channel. You got to go check it out if you haven't already.
Not you,
but I want to
new.
play pieces of a clip she did yesterday, and it was. I thought this is what we've got to hear right now because.
Yes.
The line is
her.
gone, and I think she made a really good point. So
Jake being the hype man over here, like, are you Flavor Flav? Is that
Dude,
what you're going for?
It's so good. It's
you're
the best. Wait till you see it. You're so good.
I can't wait to see it, but you keep screaming over. I'm just.
Let's do the first part of this clip right now.
Hype it.
These are fascists being funded by fascists. To enable that's not my fascism. Video though. Like again, that's what demonetizing my. They know that if they're able to convince maybe live, margins, 11 notifications, 2%,
shut up and let's listen to you.
This coup is okay. Maybe reading they would be more likely to get away with it. Right? That's what these people's purpose is on this planet, is to carry water for fascism. It's not wrong.
Let's dissect that real quick because I think.
Whoa, my words are being dissected. Well, I thought they were good enough.
Platform.
Lay down.
People who are frankly fascist, Gavin McInnes, whether it's Alex Jones, Gavin McInnes, or fascist Gavin McInnes or fascist lights, partner with them on stage and do world tours. Like I'm on the left and they're on the right. Isn't this fun? But as far or even further, leftists
why can't
who
we
don't
see
speak
you on
out
the screen?
against this and maybe channel anger in these moments into
because I'm on
directions.
Discord, I can't see you.
Or even worse. Just straight up apologize for it.
Mm-hmm. So I come back to Antifa, and I will. This is why.
Shout outs to Antifa.
Antifa is an unorganized, affiliated, like there's no membership card, but group that consistently has stepped to neo-Nazis for decades, right? Every time there's a white supremacist rally, there are neo-Nazis in a community, Antifa's there, and they show up, they are, black clad, they're very militant, they don't wield guns or anything, but they're very much militant. I don't know if I would say that they're nonviolent, but they are taking direct action against neo-Nazis.
Look at
some of the same people.
Look at the conversation
giving a
you
pass
are inspiring
to what happened to these insurrectionists in the Capitol
all around
building,
you.
have called on the left to, you really need to rein in Antifa. Like,
just smoke more.
That is so insane to me. Look, sorry, let me just make the point.
I'm vaping, actually.
Antifa is probably one of the farthest left groups I can imagine. Right? That's pretty much one of the farthest left. Like street organizations doing, battle with these neo-Nazis. They're anti-fascist. That's literally their cause. So don't ever think that there is anything liberal, there's anything centrist, there's anything mealy-mouthed about confronting Nazis. There is not. Okay, it's as pretty much down as you can get. I'm not endorsing the tactics. I'm not saying they're good, but that is very far left. What is not left is to give these insurrectionists a pass. And what I was saying before is some folks who have made a name for themselves, writing a lot about,
it's the purple crew, man. They're fucking all over your shit.
Have even said that, Antifa's the real problem, and have played into that same right-wing ideology that somehow being against fascism is actually also fascism, which I completely disagree with. So, once again, I think that what happens every time the left gets organized, and what happens every time we pull in one direction.
You keep doing this shit, man. You're the one doing it. You keep doing it. And we're gonna feed you more info
Sectarians
too.
will rear their heads. People who want.
We're gonna feed you info to go on.
I'm actually on a diet right now.
I don't know what they're.
No, you're gonna go after it.
I don't know who's paying them. I don't
know
if they just see more of a lane for themselves.
In
giving a nod and a wink to the right.
We're going after Dan, and we're going after Blumenthal.
That is exactly what is happening.
All those motherfuckers.
I think it's important for us to not get distracted by that.
Probably shouldn't say that on
stream. But also, good on Andrea for calling it out.
Let's show the second part, because it's a perfect lead in what you said, that every time we win, we get to this point, because she leans on history, and I believe that, I see the Antifa flag in the background, I believe that Andrea's there's no membership to Antifa, but she lined with Antifa, so let's play the clip.
That was really funny.
Andrea, please.
And then we have this fucking weirdo. So AOC, this is at 8 p.m. After pipe bombs were discovered at the U.S. Capitol, this dumb motherfucking fascist goon decided to mock AOC.
I thought I wasn't allowed.
I wasn't allowed
currently
to swear
at this
on
point
her show when I went.
barricaded
and now she's
in an
playing
office.
This is weird.
Scared for her life. Okay.
They
told me
caused
not to
Republicans,
swear, and now
at the behest of some of the force to vote people, know that AOC is an enemy. AOC has higher name recognition in Republicans than she does in Democrats. The reason is because they want to kill her. This person, JV Graz on Twitter, they've got like 30,000 followers or something.
JV
right?
Graz was the one who said
this
that
person
because
has
I
been
told
enabling a
my
smear
children
campaign
I voted,
against
my
AOC,
girls I voted for
saying
Biden.
AOC is evil, saying AOC is a scumbag, and AOC is single-handedly in the way of our healthcare.
And my daughter,
this person has been carrying water for fascists,
saying you're a fucking animal.
After the fascists tried to kill her and the rest of the members of Congress,
his name is John Graziano.
Applauds the fascists and mocks AOC. These are not leftists. These are not organizers. These are not socialists. These are not communists. These are not tankies. These are Nazis. Nazis, by the way, that are occupying a slightly different media space. Nazis in the 1940s knew not all of them could say the same thing. They knew that some of them would have to act as the pipeline to bring other people to the Nazi propaganda that they were going to
get in with your friends. Get in with your friends, right?
To promote their propaganda in unions, in union meetings. They paid people to promote their propaganda with their families. Because it's a lot easier to accept a narrative if it's your friend telling you.
I mean, what I think was so today we
Very
talked a
well
lot about
said.
solidarity
Very well
and strategy and staying together.
I mean, brilliant.
It is extremely clear what is at stake and what we are facing, especially without Trump in the White House, because now he can go out and do whatever he wants. I mean,
was on,
I don't know how they were controlling him, but however they were,
Ben's
he
morning
was
show.
Yeah,
she was great.
Who?
She was the first white. She was the first white person on. Nomiki.
Why wasn't I the first white person on?
That's a really good question. We'll have to. You never will be now. But
I know. It's the chance is over.
But you could be the second.
Well, I don't know. Look, they should just start a whole new show, and then I can be the
Maybe
first
they
white
actually.
person on that show.
To be honest, they actually are starting a whole new show on Monday. So maybe.
So
make
I'll
you
be the first white person on that show.
Yeah, it's going to be called Morning Trap.
Okay. Well, I will. Okay. Well. Anyway, let's continue.
Controlled.
Let's continue.
Unless he ends up in jail, he's going to go out there and continue espousing these beliefs and riling people up for whatever reason. but I thought it was so important because
I just want to say it's very interesting that Nomiki is getting super chats while playing my content. I'm just saying.
No, it's worth mentioning. It's worth mentioning. I think you should probably get a cut of that.
I think I should. And I am going to be talking to my
But
lawyer
you know how it
as soon as the show is over.
You know how it goes. If you put your hand out too soon, it gets chopped off. Right?
I hope not.
You know what I mean?
As a video gamer, I use my hands every day.
Right, so that's what you want to protect your hands, so you don't want to put them out too soon.
That is
Once
true.
you're established and she's regularly using you, then we'll approach it, and I don't think that'll be a problem.
Oh well, I was just joking, but anyway, let's go on.
Jay McAlevey works with unions on union busting. These are strategies that have been used for hundreds of years, not decades, hundreds of years, to break apart revolutions, to break apart the left, to put instigators in, to pay off folks, to whatever it is. But solidarity, and that's why we always say solidarity with labor, because it's very clear when you align yourself with labor that you're there for working people. And I think what's very missing from this conversation with a group of leftists who are, I don't know, praising the guy who sat in Nancy Pelosi's chair and stole her mail and saying, good, he would lead better than, what?
No.
What? That's
Some
not a
high-key
labor
dollar
left
tree, I have to
movement.
tell you.
That is something else. And
No.
so I wanted to call attention to this in a way that I really didn't want to touch on this stuff anymore, but I think that the stakes are too high that we have to make it extremely clear to our audience.
I agree.
That this is not,
And who
It's not in good
better to make it clear
and it is being in there, and they're being.
I just want to point out.
Then Stoner Girl.
Absolutely. I mean, like, I'm just a pothead comedian. And as a pothead comedian, I just want to say it's very interesting. And again, I'm not, I'm just making observations. Think of me as like Jerry Seinfeld in that kind of capacity. So we have, someone using their full name on the Zoom thing. And then all of a sudden you look at Nomiki and she's just advertising her Patreon. So I'm just saying that's very interesting. I just observed that. My eyes struck that part of the screen.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's her name. Her name is an advertisement. So, you know what I just thought of? And maybe we should do this? How awesome would this be? What if, because you just said you call yourself the pothead comedian, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's what Jimmy says. I think it's really
which is what Jimmy says, right? But what if you pretend, like, what if you have a thing where, like Stephen Colbert, but you could just be yourself? You are.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Jimmy's niece.
You're like 20 years older than me or whatever. I don't know how old you are. How old are you?
Well, yeah, I'm 45.
Yeah, so you're literally like 20 years old. So I don't know who Stephen Colbert is. I don't watch.
You don't know who Stephen Colbert is?
I've heard the name. I don't watch TV. Though.
He's one of the main late night comedians like Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert. He used to be on Jon Stewart's show, and he had a whole persona of this right wing lunatic. Okay.
Oh, have you seen my Liberty Loop vids?
What is it? A character you play?
Yeah, I got Chuz the Chud. Where I
no, I haven't.
Oh, you got to look them up. They're great.
Wait, so you do a shtick?
Yeah.
What is it?
I pretend to be a Republican. It's great.
Okay, but what if you pretended to be? I was just thinking, what it would be funny if you pretended to be Jimmy's niece, like
Jimmy
Trump's
Kimmel?
niece. No, Jimmy Dore.
Oh.
If you went out there and said, "I'm Jimmy's niece, and this guy's crazy. I'm also a pothead, and I'm also a comedian, but much different than this guy. This guy's crazy," and you just went out there and pretended to be.
I actually
his niece.
am willing to do that, but only if I write a book and then go on a book tour as an expose of him, and then the book is just entirely
that's what I'm saying.
libelous.
Like you have all the inside dirt, and you pretend to be his niece.
Yeah,
and
but
you know everything
the
about
book
it.
has to be libel, and it has to be written in such a way, like, I think I'm gonna, like, and then the first page and, like, fine print say this is all satire, but then no one's gonna see that. So the whole book has to be fake. But I would go on a book tour, absolutely.
You should say maybe you're his niece, and he's a dirty old man, like, and you know that.
I mean, you can just see the dirt on his face when he streams. Like, he's constantly filthy.
Totally.
He's
so filthy.
Looks like he showers.
No, but wouldn't it be
infrequently.
something? I mean, wouldn't it be something if you came out as his niece and like had all the inside information on him and just streamed videos of him and said, "Oh God, see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is my uncle, and he's such a fucking creep. Don't you see it? I'm just like him. I'm a pothead comedian, but I'm just like the real deal. He is such a fucking liar. I know all this shit about him. Listen to me.
Well, we can workshop that. Maybe it's a decent
something.
idea. I mean, it's an idea. It's in the zeitgeist.
It's at least an idea.
We can definitely work on that one. But
you
I'm
are
going
a
to continue
pothead
playing the
comedian.
video here. That is true.
Yeah, you should do it. You should do that.
Do they continue talking about me, or is that it? I don't know.
I guess. I hope so.
I don't know. I hope so too. I mean, I have no idea what's happening. Again,
It'll be a lot more interesting than anything else they discuss.
That's true. All right, let's go.
Open about it.
Yeah, it's funny because there's some really good clips. Obviously, Elizabeth is one of them, but there's another guy who was, I think, right next to the woman who was shot, and he's just coming out and he's like, "Yeah, I'm from Jersey, and it was crazy, man, and I'm just angry because they can't do that."
The
like,
Humanist
they work
Report
for
just gave you
us.
$10 for some weed,
And
bro.
I'm like,
here, normally I like to pause and then read the super chats. Now you're invading my commentary.
I'm sorry, but I was
making the
surprised.
comment.
I didn't know the
It's,
Humanist Report.
here I am. I'm trying to let people speak. I'm trying to and then now
I got excited.
I have to
I'm sorry.
rewind now. I know you. I understand you got excited, and I was excited too, and I was thinking of how to address this while letting these people speak. And then you just you bombard the commentary. You just ruin the flow.
I got in trouble yesterday too. Ben yelled at me for interrupting, so I'll be more careful.
Oh, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just messing around. Thank you, the Humanist Report, though, for $10. Here's some money for weed. Love the show. I appreciate that.
Have you ever gotten one from the Humanist Report?
I don't think so.
That must be from Nomi Key, dude.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're right here in the chat listening to the program, so it's kind of weird to speak about them in third person.
Hi, Humanist Report. We love you.
I mean, that's just weird. I'm just saying that's kind of something like a weird person would do.
Is first person okay then?
I guess is that first or second person?
What about fourth person? If you're Let's claiming do fourth person.
No, because I'm one, you're two, and then they're three. The fourth person is whoever. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna continue. They still talk I'm not. I don't want to just restream their whole show if they're not talking about me.
Well, I think they are.
I don't know. I'll listen.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm from Jersey, and it was crazy."
Coincidentally, I'm also from New Jersey. I currently live in North Carolina, but I am also from Jersey. So I want to say this is how they speak up there. One thing, a little tidbit is when I was 10 years old, I felt embarrassed of having a New Jersey accent, and so I trained myself to un-accent myself.
Seriously?
Yeah. I was amazing. A little bit of a freak. I'm sorry, but
no, that's great.
No, it's not great. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Jersey accent.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a very intelligent person.
You did a very good job.
I'm very good. And also I'm gonna continue. I'm just
Man, I'm just angry because they can't do that. They work for us. Yeah, and I'm like, wow, how much Jimmy Dore you been watching, bro? I'm not even joking. That is the level of analysis and intellectualism that some people who purport to be on the left are floating to us to digest. It's just, I'm angry. I don't know, elites. It is so two-dimensional.
Agreed. No, I mean, I don't want to just restream their show, right? So let me. Now this is the part where I comment on them commenting on a clip that you stole from me and then re-uploaded so that I wouldn't get the monetization. So you stole my clip and then sent it to them as a money laundering scheme of some sort. I'm not sure. So I just want to let everyone know that they're commenting on me, and therefore with the fair use laws and everything that goes on.
I am making money off of all this. That's true.
You are literally profiting. I can literally scroll through the super chats that she got. You're basically doing Jimmy Dore. Do I have to cry about my dead mother now?
I gave the money back to you in the super chat. I gave it back to you in the super chat.
That is true, but it's at the same, YouTube takes a cut. So there's you got to give me more to offset.
Everybody's got to take a cut. Listen, I'm your viewer. I take a cut because I'm a viewer.
I'm not so sure about that. But either way, again, I just want to say, the whole idea of thinking that again, if you there's these people on Twitter and they're like, Cori Bush is not your hero, and it's what does that mean? Do you think that that's commentary? Do you think that oh wow, I'm providing this thought-provoking and wonderful and enlightened response? I am going to spearhead the second renaissance of intellectual thought. What do you think? Cori Bush is your enemy. Haha. what? Like, it's bizarre. Like, it doesn't mean anything. There's no words behind that. And then, like, you see that, and then you go, like, oh, it's got 3,000 retweets. And it's like, what? Who are the people retweeting this? And then you look at the quote tweets, and it's like, what? Who are the people quote tweeting this? Like, it's like, and then you read all of them, and it's like a bunch of losers, and all these losers tweet each other, and then they build each other's audiences, just like Dave Rubin does. Just like those fucking weirdos. So they all go on each other's show, they all retweet each other, and then they build that, like, you know, cut off echo chamber. It's bizarre. It's weird.
Well, that's honestly, because they're doing that, we need to do it too.
Well,
and that's why we're doing this.
That's great. Yeah, no, exactly. And of course, as any rational and intelligent individual would say, in my position, I have to be the leader. And if I am not the leader, then I will fracture off and go make another group, and then I will shit on both of you. So you have to make me the leader, or else. That's kind of the situation we're at. So I'm just
I think they
there.
don't show any more of your fucking videos, which is really, really a shame.
It's honestly, their entire show, their show should just be streaming my show. If No Mickey wants to syndicate Above It All on her channel, we can talk about that. So this is, you know, again, if anyone wants to syndicate my show on their channel, I'm open to that. Just, you know, hit me up. So I'm just saying, hello, Slurpy10. I just came here from the No McKee show. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you so much.
Who said that?
Slurpy10.
Slurpy. Wow.
There you go.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
Slurpy,
yeah,
welcome.
I mean, you can go watch their video here. There you go.
See, the truth is, if we did have, and this is something maybe that's floating around there.
It's just floating.
It's floating around.
Like
that maybe if we
grounds in
had
my
like
coffee?
some kind of a network, right? Then we could have show after show after show, so people wouldn't be on top of each other. There'd be a schedule, and the big shot would get the big show, and the little shot would get the little show, but we would all be one after the other, and people would just go from one to the other.
Exactly. And
Right?
obviously, on this hypothetical network, I will be taking up 12 hours of that, and then we can distribute the other 12 hours to everyone else, potentially in chunks of like 8 minutes, I think, per person. But
12 hours.
Yeah, I can do 12 hours. You might not know this actually, because you know, you don't know anything about me. But I used to stream 18 hours a day back when I was a video game streamer.
And you just did.
I did only 16. That was, you know, 16. That's nothing. But I used to stream 18 hours a day for weeks on end back in the day. So I mean, I can do it. Just saying. So I can do 18 hours, and then we can divide the other 6 hours if you want. But you know.
All right. Well, I'll talk to the personalities about that. And
for sure.
I'm sure I can arrange that. I mean, it's you after all.
That again, that's correct, right? So that's exactly right.
This was great. We got to see this whole thing live.
Well, I was actually a little bit behind because you wouldn't stop talking, and I had to pause the video at some point.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but next time I'll shut up. But what's cool is that the video, you know, is much. You need to do this clip, okay? I did 5 minutes. You need to make it.
Well, I actually did make it. Like, you stole my content. I did make it.
No, but you didn't make the clip, I don't think.
Well, I did. I mean, I made the clip, and then you stole it.
No, you didn't make the sub clip.
The clip of the clip, you mean?
I mean, I took that from your long show because I didn't want to direct people to a certain area.
Well, I have a 20-minute version of that segment.
Oh, I didn't. Well, but
Yeah.
maybe when I did it, you didn't have that up
Yeah,
yet.
I mean, you know, it takes a while. You probably ripped my, like, it's like the person that films it in the movie theater, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's you. You were
Exactly.
filming it in the movie theater.
Yes, I know. I
that's a
should
little weird.
really direct people to your site.
No, absolutely. And again, I'm definitely going to call my lawyer after the show is over because I feel like my rights have been infringed, actually.
I'm sure. Well, you do that.
I will.
What else are you focused on today? I don't know when you started streaming.
I've just been going through the Capitol terror attack.
But now I hear they're meeting on to see if they're going to do impeachment. Did you see that?
Yep. I was going to stream Nancy Pelosi's press conference in full because I think it was important, But like honestly, like there's just not that much time left, and like I have.
You really watch that?
I love watching Nancy Pelosi. Keep in mind, I watch it 2 times speed.
I can't stand watching that woman.
Well, it's 2 times speed. Like it keeps you, you have to like pay attention, and then like it's over like half the time.
Yeah, but if you do it live, you can't do that.
Well, it's not live. It was yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now? What you got going?
I don't know. I had a whole show planned, and then you just kind of barnstormed. So
now you can't do it anymore.
My momentum's crashed. It's over.
Look, not many people have left. I got to say. So
I can keep going. I'm willing to keep going. Like I can. I don't know. Should I keep going?
Do you think I should get the fascistamongus.com?
That's up to you. Whatever money you would spend on that website would probably be better suited in my bank account. But, I'm just saying.
Do you think there's a purpose to that?
To putting money in my bank account? Yes, I do, actually.
And what about, let's say I put the money in your bank account. Do you think that it would be useful to have a website? Are websites even a thing? Do people go to websites? You're much more hip to this. I'm 45 years old, so do people even go to websites?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Personally, I don't even have a computer, actually. So I don't even know what a website is.
The fuck you talking? Where would one go to compile
Yeah, no, we can totally make a website. I'm just fucking around. But yeah, we can totally make a website.
Do you think that's something that would be worthwhile to have a website where you can check on media personalities to see if they're actually fascists?
I would rather, instead of that, because that's a little bit too pointed in my opinion, I would rather just have a less of a brazen title and just have like a media a critique like journal outlet, like a blog that multiple people can contribute to. That critiques media people and whether or not those people purport to be left, right, or whatever.
Is there something like that?
I don't know. See? There probably is, but,
Yeah, I'm sure there's fair media, but not necessarily for the left, right?
No, I mean, like, there's the Green Party, but we could just make our own People's Party, right? So they might be another website like that, but fuck them. We'll just make our own.
Left media analysis type thing, right?
I'm sure.
We're not going to do right media. They're all fucking crazy. We know where they are. But just discerning who's who on the left, for people who come across people and they're not sure and they don't understand what's going on and they don't understand the messages they're being given.
Absolutely. Well, we will workshop this idea. We will definitely workshop this idea. I will guarantee that. But again, I've got a show here. Again, you barnstormed in.
You're right.
This is what happens when I leave my door unlocked. I think to myself, my neighbors would not
I heard you were Jimmy Dore's niece. Is that true?
That is actually, those are rumors. Those are allegations. That may or may not be true. And we can go from there. I think there needs to be a full-scale investigation, personally. And I would go as far as to appoint a special prosecutor on such a case.
I mean, it makes sense only because you're also a comedian and you smoke pot. So you're a pot-smoking comedian.
Well, actually, I vape. I switched to vaping recently.
You're a pot-vaping comedian, okay?
That's correct.
You're a pot-consuming comedian.
I consume.
I'm just a comedian smoking pot. That's all I am.
That's as well also what I am. That's correct.
Right, and now you're really doing YouTubes like him. It's kind of you guys are similar.
I'm not sure how I feel about that comparison or those words or the choices of words there.
Or the person saying them.
I will have a meeting with my lawyer, and I will also discuss whether or not to press charges.
Who is your lawyer already? Let's bring this lawyer out.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to
disclose who my lawyer is.
Yeah, that's we keep that under wraps here. So thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for ruining the format and the programming. And
you're gonna infringe on my First Amendment rights, aren't you?
That is absolutely correct, and I'm glad.
Don't do it. Don't. It's wrong.
Well, I mean, it is wrong, and it is again. As an anti-fascist, I am about to engage in fascist tactics.
Well, the thing is, what you say all the time, which is very hurtful, is that, we don't care. He's gone and we don't care. Nobody cares. Doesn't matter. Like, that's your thing, and it's very hurtful. When I go off of the show, I feel horrible.
I want people to feel as terrible about themselves as possible as soon as they exit my show. So that way, they just have no energy for their own show. They have no self-esteem that prevents them from competing with me. And because again, I'm a capitalist here, and so I'm just trying to make as much money as I can.
But I feel great when I get on your show. When I get on, I feel great. I feel like I have
it's
a
like
voice.
it's like a sugar high. You feel really good for 10 seconds, and then
I'm on the screen. It says "Waking Jake." I feel like I'm somebody.
Right. In
Somebody
fact,
cares
I'm
about
actually
me.
just going to remove that. That way, you
You're
feel
just-
like nothing. It's
Don't
gone?
do it, and then you're gonna remove me. I'm gonna be nobody again.
And then
Nobody,
you're going to
no
go right
voice.
back to the life you used to
Please
live.
don't do it. Please don't do it.
You got to write.
Why do you get joy out of this? What's wrong with you?
Joy is my middle name, some would say. And with that being said, I will speak to you again soon. Anyway, that was pretty cool. Shout outs to Jake for spamming, first of all, stealing my content, to be very clear. That was theft. But in stealing my content, they utilized it to bring new viewership to me, so I appreciate that. So I appreciate that. And thank you to Nomiki for platforming me. And hopefully I will go on their show again at some point. So I've got a couple more things I want to talk about, and I want to be very, very clear. I'm a very satirical person. Do not take, if I am insulting, or if you feel that I am insulting, or if I'm on the line of insulting, I'm a very satirical person, and I want to just let you know that. What is the Liberty Loop is a show that I do every now and then. I did it a lot during the summer, where I pretend to be a right-winger, and I wear this classic hat, the garb, and I pretend to be a right-winger, and I say a bunch of dumb shit. So I have a playlist. You can just search it on my channel, The Liberty Loop, the space Liberty space loop, and it's pretty good. In the series of The Liberty Loop, I also, on the 4th of July, on the birthday of America, I played through Trump Doom as Chuz the Chud. So I played through the entirety of a Doom mod where you play as Donald Trump and you deal with Hillary Clinton as the final boss, needless to say. So I played through that whole game as Chuz the Chud. It's about an hour long. I did not break character, and it's definitely something that you should watch. And again, as with the last 30 or 40 minute segment, I do not break character easily. I am very able to say things in such a fashion, if it better suits me. Anyway, again, thank you to them for backing me up. I really do appreciate that. And again, I know that I sound a little bizarre, and I don't want people to think that I'm rude or whatever. I mean, I am rude, but I don't want people to think that I'm rude. I got it. It's like a fine line. You have to be rude enough that it registers, but not rude enough to where they think I'm rude. You know what I mean? So I think I'm on that line. I would like to get on another side of that line. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've got a couple of other things that I want to talk about here. And this is just really cool stuff. So Cori Bush and AOC have been calling for the expulsion of senators and members of Congress that objected to the electoral results in the Electoral College proceedings. And so I wanted to start here with Cori Bush saying, "Say it louder so Holly can hear us too," while quote tweeting AOC. Again, I am totally standing these politicians. I want to make that abundantly clear. I am standing these politicians. So I want to make it abundantly clear. So let's start here with this chain. So you have Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz, by the way, who just recently was out there saying, "We will not go quietly into the night." The day before, or the 2 days before the Capitol attack, the terror attack, I should say. So AOC tweets out, "Senator Cruz, you must accept responsibility for how your craven, self-serving actions contributed to the deaths of 4, now 5, people yesterday, and how you fundraised off this riot. Both you and Senator Hawley must resign. If you do not, the Senate should move for your expulsion." So again, very, very, very high quality content here. So then Ted Cruz responds with, again, not sending their best, And I want to be abundantly clear that they're not sending their best. And in the words of our president,
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
So Ted Cruz goes in and says, AOC, you are a liar. Leading a debate in the Senate on ensuring election integrity. Again, this is, it's not about I hate women. It's about ethics and games journalism, right? It's not about yelling at women. It's about it's about holding politicians accountable. They always they have this way of oh no, it's not exactly what it is very clearly is. No, it's something else. So AOC says leading a debate, or rather Ted Cruz says leading a debate in the Senate on ensuring election integrity is doing our jobs, and it's in no way responsible for the despicable terrorists who attacked the Capitol yesterday. And sorry, I ain't going anywhere when you and your socialist buddies ... try to massively raise taxes, when you try to pass the Green New Deal and destroy millions of jobs, when you push for amnesty, when you go to pack the Supreme Court with activists to undermine our constitutional rights. I will fight that step and stand with the people. Interesting. What people, by the way? Are they maybe the very fine people that stormed the Congress? Anyway, so AOC responds once again with, oh, you're accusing me of lying. Isn't this you? Your campaign sent out a fundraising message as people were sieging the Capitol. You claimed to be leading the fight to reject electors. Clashes started around 1:20 p.m. This message was sent after the Capitol was breached. So again, 3:33 p.m. So this is 2 hours into the event. And again, I live streamed the whole event. I can assure you by 3 p.m., they were on C-SPAN already. Remember, we started the day on my stream. I was like, what if, these people outside, what if they just, go into the other stream? Because I had both C-SPAN and outside streams going on. And then at around 3 or 2 even, I think, they actually made it on C-SPAN. They were on the C-SPAN camera. So, Ted Cruz here. I'm leading the fight to reject electors from key states unless there's an emergency audit of the election results. Will you stand with me? So, again, as people were barnstorming the Capitol, trying to overthrow the United States government, Ted Cruz was trying to fundraise, and so that's very interesting. And so AOC continues with, your complete refusal to acknowledge any of the above harm, wrongdoing, or even misjudgment, and your lack of any self-reflection in how these acts contributed to yesterday's chaos is alarming. It is unbecoming of any elected official and makes you unfit for the office that you occupy. Resign. Bada boom. Right? It's just great. It's just wonderful stuff. So again, I just wanted to make it abundantly clear that yes, I am standing politicians. That is absolutely what I am doing. But again, we need to get rid of these motherfuckers, right? I don't even care if another Republican replaces them. We need to have a marker in the sand to hold people accountable. You cannot and you should not incite riots at the Capitol. Especially in the situation that, again, Trump's own supporters killed themselves at the riots. They had heart attacks because they're like, whoa, my God! And they dropped fucking dead, hit the ground screaming like a bunch of dumb motherfuckers, right? So their own supporters died. They put their own supporters' lives at risk, killed their own supporters, and killed a cop in the process. And you need to be held accountable for such a thing. I'm sorry. That's what you need to do. So again, amazing content from AOC and Cori Bush. And I hope that these calls gain traction, because it is the exact correct message. And yes. Killed them and then asked for their money? Absolutely, Chicken Seal. Absolutely. How's everyone doing? I suggest getting Mr. Jake on more often so we can sue him frequently for money, which is good because we love capitalism. Ka-ching. Hell yes. Elephants are afraid of bees. That is a wonderful username. No, McKee brought me here. She just showed your clip on her show with Franny. Yeah, I saw that, actually. That's really cool. And you definitely tell her that I appreciate that. But yeah, for anyone who's new here, just for reference, I normally stream at 10 a.m. every day. And lately, over the last few days, I've been streaming a lot about the Capitol terror attack. And as a result, I want to do more shows at various points in the day to cover more of this content, because I want to try to make sure that everyone in my audience knows exactly why this happened, who caused it, and what we need to do about it going forward. And so I'm going to be doing a couple of just, extra shows. So, but my normal show, I do 7 days a week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so, yeah. And that's my message on that front. But again, welcome. Thank you. I love elephants, actually. In fact, I have an elephant mug, a coffee mug here. This is an elephant, as you can see. So I've got an elephant coffee mug. I've actually got an elephant on the floor. Not to be confused with the floor that the Trump supporter bled out on while wearing a Trump cape. But I've also got an elephant right here. So this is my friend. This is an elephant. So just throwing that out there. Huge fan. As well as dogs, just for the record. I've got a dog right there. This one's actually real. Maxie! Look, see? They moved. Good doggy. So, see? We got all kinds of stuff going on here. But yeah, so, woof! Wow. I've done a lot of streaming today. Wowie. So here's a clip that I wanted to talk about. This is a clip from a reporter who did an on-the-street interview on January 7th at 4 p.m. So January 7th, this is about 24 hours after the storming of the Capitol, where this guy's favorite failed presidential candidate supporters decided to try to overthrow the United States government. This is what this person has to say, a rank-and-file, random-ass motherfucking Trumper. This is what they have to say about the terror attack that his comrades just did.
I'm from northwest Wisconsin. As far as what happened here yesterday, it was a peaceful protest with a couple agitators. It was Trump had a lot of support, and it was good. Someone broke a piece of, some glass. We don't know if that was an actual Trump supporter, if that was Antifa, but Trump has a lot of people on his side, and we're going to stick up for him, yeah.
How do you plan to do that once Biden is president?
So I just want to be explicitly clear. This is not January 6th at 4 p.m. This was January 7th. This is after the events occurred. This isn't like as the events are occurring and information is living. This is after the event. There was some broken glass, and we don't know if that was Antifa though. And it's like, what?
Well, we're going to see what Trump does and follow his lead, because he's standing. I mean, he's standing for our Constitution. He's standing for America first. He's standing for us, and I don't understand why the other side hates him so much for that. That doesn't make sense. So I gotta ask you. I'm from Wisconsin.
But yeah, so this is what the Trumpers, they're already trying to cope. Again, on Fox News, they're saying, oh, these were protests. They were just confused. Oh, they were confused. They were just so confused. Oh, why are they so confused? I don't know. But this is the cope. This is what they're going to try to do, to rewrite history. And this is why I'm doing extra shows on my channel, because I want to make it very abundantly clear that this is not allowed. We will not let them write this in the history book. This event that took place this week will be spoken about in the history books for hundreds and hundreds of years to come. Hundreds of years they will be talking about January 6th, 2021. And we cannot let the story that they tell in 500 years from now be written through the rose-tinted glasses of these dumb motherfuckers. So, with that being said, I'd like to thank everyone for watching today. I'm probably going to be doing 2 shows again tomorrow. But again, my main show is going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And so again, thank you for watching. I'm going to post clips from this show and this morning show throughout the rest of the day, and maybe some tomorrow. So if you're new here and you don't want to watch the long form shows, you can watch some clips and those will be up. And I don't know how to highlight names. I think you just at them, don't you? I think you just at them like that, right? I don't know. But again, thank you all for checking me out. And thank you, Jake, for, just backing me up. I appreciate you. Really, I'm not fucking around. But I'm also fucking around. Yeah, so there you go. Thank you for watching. And for those of you that are new here, I don't just end the stream. I do a whole intro, outro thing. So if you like that, then there you go. And bada boom.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and address my progressive audience. They won't come.
Bottom line, the American dream, the great American dream, versus being a socialist hellhole.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. You're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it in the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water. Help me, I need water, help. And he's like, this is on live television.
In my opinion, it's never too late. Little double sound deck. So that's the story, folks.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Look, talk about education. School, not daycare. School. Make sure the television, make sure they don't know quite what to do. School, not daycare. School, help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. School, not daycare. School.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 billion to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico. $25 billion to combat Asian carp.
That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a message. Antifa exists. Antifa
these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
Good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is, I'm coming back.